Namaste. Today we shall talk about certain life-giving principles preached by Swami Vivekananda. I'll read out certain passages from his lecture, Work Before Us, delivered in Chennai, or erstwhile Madras. The only condition of national life, of awakened and vigorous national life, is the conquest of the world by Indian thought. At the same time, we must not forget that what I mean by the conquest of the world by spiritual thought is the sending out of the life-giving principles, not the hundreds of superstitions that we have been hugging to our breasts for centuries. These have to be weeded out even on this soil and thrown aside so that they may die forever. These are the causes of the degradation of the race and will lead to softening of the brain. That brain which cannot think high and noble thoughts, which has lost all power of originality, which has lost all vigor, that brain which is always poisoning itself with all sorts of little superstitions passing under the name of religion, we must beware of. In our sight here in India, there are several dangers. Of these, the two, Sila and Charybdis, rank materialism, and its opposite, arrant superstition, must be avoided. Then he goes on to explain what are these. There is the man today who, after drinking the cup of Western wisdom, thinks that he knows everything. He laughs at the ancient sages. All Hindu thought to him is arrant trash. Philosophy, mere child's prattle, and religion, the superstition of fools. On the other hand, there is the man educated, but a sort of monomaniac, who runs to the other extreme and wants to explain the omen of this and that. We see several of them today who try to explain every little custom, every village custom in a so-called scientific manner. So Swamiji is warning us against doing that. He has philosophical and metaphysical and Lord knows what other puerile explanations for every superstition that belongs to his peculiar race or his peculiar gods or his peculiar village. Every little village superstition is to him a mandate of the Vedas, and upon the carrying out of it, according to him, depends the national life. You must beware of this. If superstition enters, the brain is gone. The brain is softening. Degradation has seized upon the life. Avoid these two. Brave, bold men. These are what we want. What we want is vigor in the blood, strength in the nerves, iron muscles, and nerves of steel. Not softening, namby-pamby ideas. Avoid all these. Now he talks about mystery mongering. Several of youngsters, several among us, like to think about these mystery societies somewhere in a deep cave in Himalayas, some monk doing some magic tricks, etc. So Swamiji is warning us against that also. Avoid all mystery. There is no mystery in religion. Is there any mystery in the Vedanta, or in the Vedas, or in the Samhitas, or in the Puranas? What secret societies did the sages of yore establish to preach their religion? What sleight of hand tricks are there recorded as used by them to bring their grand truths to humanity? Mystery mongering and superstition are always signs of weakness. These are always signs of degradation and death. Great things are there, most marvelous things. We may call them supernatural things so far as our ideas of nature go, but not one of these things is a mystery. Shame on humanity that strong men should spend their time on these superstitions, spend all their time in inventing allegories to explain the most rotten superstitions of the world. Be bold. Do not try to explain everything that way. The fact is that We may have many superstitions, many bad spots and sores on our body. These have to be excised, cut off, and destroyed. But these do not destroy our religion, our national life, our spirituality. Every principle of religion is safe, and the sooner these black spots are purged away, the better the principles will shine, the more gloriously. Stick to them. The truths of our religion, although we have persons by the score, do not depend upon them. The glory of Krishna is not that he was Krishna, but that he was the great teacher of Vedanta. If he had not been so, his name would have died out of India in the same way as the name of Buddha has done. Thus, our allegiance is to the principles always, and not to the persons. Persons are but the embodiments, the illustrations of the principle. Illustrations of the principles. If the principles are there, the persons will come by the thousands and millions. If the principle is safe, persons like Buddha will be born by the hundreds and thousands. But if the principle is lost and forgotten, and the whole of national life tries to cling round a so-called historical person, woe unto that religion, danger unto that religion. Ours is the only religion that does not depend on a person or persons. It is based upon principles. At the same time, there is room for millions of persons. There is ample ground for introducing persons, but each one of them must be an illustration of the principles. We must not forget that. These principles of our religion are all safe, and it should be the life work of every one of us to keep them safe and to keep them free from the accumulating dirt and dust of ages. It is strange that in spite of the degradation that seized upon the race again and again, these principles of the Vedanta were never tarnished. No one, however wicked, ever dared to throw dirt upon them. Our scriptures are the best preserved scriptures in the world. Compared to other books, there have been no interpolations, no text torturing, no destroying of the essence of the thought in them. It is there just as it was first, directing the human mind towards the ideal, the goal. Our scriptures declare again and again that even the knowledge of the external senses is not religion. That is religion which makes us realize the unchangeable one, and that is the religion for everyone. He who realizes transcendental truth, he who realizes the Atman in his own nature, he who comes face to face with God, sees God alone in everything, has become a rishi. And there is no religious life for you until you have become a rishi. Then alone religion begins for you. Now is only the preparation. Then religion dawns upon you. Now you are only undergoing intellectual gymnastics and physical tortures. We must therefore remember that our religion lays down distinctly and clearly that everyone who wants salvation must pass through the stage of rishihood, must become a mantra dashta, must see God. That is salvation. That is the law laid down by our scriptures. Then it becomes easy to look into the scriptures with our own eyes, understand the meaning for ourselves, to analyze just what we want, and to understand the truth for ourselves. This is what has to be done. At the same time, we must pay all reverence to the ancient sages for their work. They were great, these ancients, but we want to be greater. They did great work in the past, but we must do greater work than they. They had hundreds of rishis in ancient India. We will have millions. We are going to have. And the sooner every one of you believes in this, the better for India and the better for the world. Whatever you believe, that you will be. If you believe yourselves to be sages, sages you will be tomorrow. There is nothing to obstruct you. For if there is one common doctrine that runs through all our apparently fighting and contradictory sects, it is that all glory All power and purity are within the soul already. Only, according to Ramanuja, the soul contracts and expands at times, and according to Shankara, it comes under a delusion. Never mind these differences. All admit the truth that the power is there. Potential or manifest, it is there. And the sooner you believe that, the better for you. All power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that. Do not believe that you are weak. Do not believe that you are half crazy lunatics, as most of us do nowadays. You can do anything and everything without even the guidance of anyone. All power is there. Stand up and express the divinity within you.